Well, President Trump moving full steam ahead towards Singapore with just days until the historic summit. Our commander-in-chief says it's all about attitude, not preparation. So what kind of attitude does he need for a meeting with an unpredictable dictator like Kim Jong-un? National security analyst and Hudson Institute senior fellow Rebeccah Heinrichs joins us now with her insights. Thank you so much for joining us. Certainly appreciate it this morning.
Good morning, Heather.
So that is a big question. How do you prepare for a meeting with Kim Jong-un? And when the president says it's all about attitude, what type of attitude do you need?
Well, you need to project confidence, and that's what the president is doing. When he says it's all about attitude, he's projecting confidence, which is what he should do going into this. Secretary of State Pompeo had this wonderful press conference after the president had this press conference with the Japanese Prime Minister Abe, in which Pompeo said and reiterated and affirmed that President Trump has been having hours of briefings. And so President Trump is very well prepared. He knows all the information. He understands what the North Koreans are going to try to do here, and he knows what he's looking for. So at this point, he needs to go and project confidence, be prepared to walk out if the North Koreans decide that they're not going to play fair or they're not going to actually try to negotiate in earnest. And so I'm pretty confident going into this weekend, going into the next week, to see what President Trump can try to get done.
Yeah, he has also talked about a willingness to get things done. But do you think on their part, Kim Jong-un is willing to get things done? Have you seen any signs of that aside from agreeing to this meeting?
I remain completely skeptical of the North Koreans. I think that Kim Jong-un would like to, he's looking for things to secure for his own country. I don't think the North Koreans are really interested in getting rid of their nuclear weapons. But because President Trump is such an unconventional president, and because he's so committed to results and he's not ideological, things like this, complimenting Kim Jong-un and really sort of extending this, diplomatic overtures to him that I haven't seen from an American president. I don't know. Maybe he can pull something off and really give Kim Jong-un something that would really persuade him that it would be worth the cost.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this all along. I think that Kim Jong-un actually looks up to President Trump. I really do. I think that he respects his unconventional style. So we'll see if that benefits us in these negotiations moving forward. But in the meantime, President headed first to the G7 summit with tariff talks. What can we expect as the president heads to Canada today?
Well, I think President Trump, the tweets that he sent out yesterday where he was really giving Macron a hard time and Justin Trudeau a hard time, I think President Trump, this is something that he does. He's not afraid to really mix it up. I'm not a big supporter of putting these tariffs on our closest allies, but I'm also not an economist, so I don't have a really super strong opinion about this because I think there's others who know more about it. But what I do appreciate is that President Trump doesn't see these issues that he can't touch or that he can't say that or he can't do that. He's willing to mix it up, and I think that these alliances are strong, and so I think in the end you're going to see these alliances that are going to weather this storm. They're going to cooperate and play ball with President Trump, and we're going to have stronger alliances by the end of his first term if he does have a second.
Right, yeah, I think he definitely doesn't tend toward politically correct speech.
No, he does not.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the tweets that you were just mentioning that he talked about yesterday. One about the unfair trade. We could pull that up, and what you were mentioning is, he talks about how we need to fix that and how it would benefit us. Basically, you can see it right there.
Yeah, and I appreciate the fact that, I kind of chuckle when I see these tweets. I know a lot of people get really upset and they get really worked up and they think that these alliances are going to be ruined over it. And I think that that's nonsense. President Trump, these alliances are strong, and so he's allowed to. And I think that there's space there to push back and say, no, these alliances are strong, and I want a better trade deal for Americans because I'm here to represent them. I'm not here to represent you. And so I think the American people can really appreciate that.
And the thing is, he's also forcing some action on the part of everyone when he puts tweets out like this and lets people know, what's actually going on behind closed doors. Thank you so much, Rebeccah. We appreciate your insight. We'll bring you back next week for reaction for sure.